The Warhammer 40,000 franchise is renowned worldwide for its dark, dystopian, war-ridden universe where the Imperium of Man fights all kinds of alien tribes and races. It is then refreshing to see a new game in Warhammer 40,000 Shootas Blood and Teeth, which is not a strategy or an FPS, but is instead a run and gun, and furthermore you play as an orc. Is it bloody good though, or more like pulling teeth? Well, thank you to the publishing team for the review code, and now let's find out. The planet of Lutius Alpha has been producing much needed material for the wars raging on in the Armageddon sector and draws the attention of the great war boss Ogruk Gutreka, or words to that effect. Upon unleashing a full assault, Gutreka took your most precious hair squig, and you must now make it your mission to raise all that stand before you and return that hair squig. This is more of a satirical adventure seen through the eyes of a member of the Green Tide. They are known to be berserkers who will kill everyone and anything, including their own, when they go into a rage. It is somewhat fitting to the humour and tone of the game to have the player using orcs for that very reason, since the other factions would not have been able to pull the fourth wall jokes and satire quite as well. The game comes from the creators of Guns, Gore and Cannelloni, another side-scrolling run and gun with lots of animated gore and humour. You will begin by choosing one of 4 classes, each with a different ability and grenade equipped. Although the variety may seem a tad scarce, it at least gives the player options that can make the game play and feel different. It is also a 4-player game, but I did not try this out during my playthrough, although I imagine it must be very enjoyable. The levels are designed with different elevations and you must make progress by pressing on until you reach areas that will require you to defeat an ongoing wave of enemies. These levels are pretty easy to work out as there are only a few switches and levers that require activating to open certain doors in order to progress. There will be an end level boss that will need defeating as well. Your character can carry an assortment of weapons, and different weapons can be purchased from the merchant found at different checkpoints. Each has its own properties, strengths and weaknesses, but it is good to try and experiment. There is no ammo depletion in this game, but all guns will require a reload, which suits the type of game it is. Some weapons, particularly the laser or the flamethrower, will overheat, damaging the player, which in a way adds a level of strategy in using them. There is a gauge underneath the special meter on the heads up display, but it is minuscule both docked and in handheld. The crates will give players grenades, which are powerful yet finite. The orc will fill up a special meter that will allow him to go into a brief berserker frenzy. This will allow the player to automatically fire and reload your weapon at a fast speed, which is a great way to clear a room or damage a boss. I didn't know what to expect going in as an avid Warhammer fan, since its canon storyline has some dark, solemn tones. There is great humour here and a more satirical approach to the whole franchise, which captures the parody of the factions that live and fight in them. The obsession of the armies of mankind with their immortal emperor, or even the dumb, brute dialogues of each of the orcs, each with their own British accent, was really in keeping with the subject matter. Fans will truly enjoy how some of their favourite factions are ridiculed by the standard, over-the-top pre-battle speeches. The developers have gone to great lengths to make a hand-drawn Metal Slug-esque Warhammer 40k game, and they have pretty much nailed it in that respect. In terms of controls, I must say that they threw me off slightly when I began the game, as the ZL button is for jumping, albeit this can be changed around in the settings. I really enjoyed the gameplay and tearing through the different enemies on each of the levels. The game does have assisted aiming, which makes landing a shot easier, sparing you from tilting the right stick too much. Shootas Blood and Teef is a good run and gun and a good Warhammer game in equal measure. The gameplay is fun and intense, and it offers both online and couch co-op. Gameplay scores 16 out of 20. Controls can feel slightly obtuse to those who play similar games, but you'll become accustomed to them soon enough, or you can at least change them to suit your style. They score 17 out of 20. Visually, Shootas Blood and Teef has been completely hand-drawn, and this fits the theme and humour of the game like a glove. Characters have been animated like 2D marionettes, with limbs twisting and bending over each other, and it is great to see cartoon versions of the Space Marines, the Citadel and vehicles, all with beautifully hand-drawn details that make them pop out of the screen, and this is also enhanced by the vivid colour palette, since they went for a somewhat cartoon comic book style. Again, great to see that a lot of effort has gone into creating an animated version of a sombre and dystopian world, very much akin to how the Vault Boy adverts and illustrations are used to depict horrendous counterparts in a light-hearted manner in the Fallout series. The gore is pretty over the top, with dismemberments and streams of blood shooting into the sky. Possibly the best bits though are the cutscenes, as they are over the top, comical and great to watch. The scale of each mech boss is impressive, and some of the effects such as the lightning, flames or gas are pretty spot on. Text size can be a little small in handheld mode, which is just something to consider. When it comes to performance however, there are a few issues, nothing game breaking, far from it, but just a few niggles that diminish the overall experience a tad. First of all, you have the frame drops and stuttering when the level has too many moving parts, in particular the sewers, which is infested with rats. Another problem was the doors not opening once all enemies in an area were defeated. I had to reload the game at times, fight the horde again, and this then fixed the issue, but it's these sort of annoyances that just drag things down, which is a shame. On top of this, I have also encountered a strange sound bug too that meant some cutscenes had no sound. This is especially frustrating because, as I said a moment ago, the cutscenes in general are great. When it works, the voice acting is pretty good, making the characters more lifelike, and the soundtrack is on point with heavy rock and metal kicking in and out as you proceed into gunfights. Very fitting music indeed. Visuals look great and fit the tone of the game well, but those performance issues do mar things. They score 15 out of 20. Audio is also great, but that sound bug does knock it down a touch. Nonetheless, it gets 17 out of 20. Warhammer 40,000 Shootas Blood and Teeth cost £16.49 and regional equivalents are on your screen now. In terms of the fun this game offers, with that co-op option for both local and online play too, the price is quite a fair one. However, the performance issues were a little too persistent to be ignored in this section, and they will need to be factored into the final score. For physical collectors, there is a standard physical edition and also a collector's edition that offers an acrylic diorama and a keyring amongst other things. There are links in the description where you can pick these up if interested. They aren't affiliate links at all, just there for those that want to see what's on offer. On balance, value scores 15 out of 20. To conclude, the developers have done a great service in delivering a different type of Warhammer 40k game, one in particular that breaks from many traditions of making a strategy or an FPS, but not only that, one that makes the Orc faction the protagonist, giving this spin-off a much needed, light-hearted approach. Some patchwork is needed, but if they provide this and just polish things up a notch, this could possibly become one of the modern run and gun classics. I would recommend this to all players who love the genre, whether they know the source material or not. Warhammer 40,000 Shootas Blood and Teeth gets a SwitchUp score of 80%. Thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do remember to leave a like if you did. A big thank you to Azdin over at Grinning Wolf Games for writing this one for us. He is the Warhammer fan, not me, so if I have mispronounced any of the names, I do apologise. It's my fault, not his. Don't forget, if you are looking for eShop credit, you can use our website switchup.gg to get your eShop cards. Use the code SwitchUp to get yourself 10% off of an order, and there's also a link down there to Play Asia. You can get yourself 5% off of an order from there. Use the link and then use the code stated. A quick thank you to our patrons as always for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming. Some humans to crush, to bring Armageddon and guard them to dust.